Alright, good day, hi and welcome from the helm of the Silver Pellet. So I'm just out in front up here with one of my cameras. Well, a little bit early. So I'm gonna make me a video about a half an hour early. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how cold. Depends on how cold it is, depending on if I'm gonna start at 9 or 9:30. I'm kind of funny like that, you know, in the fall. It's like, it's like, yeah, I'll meet you at 9. It's cold out. I'll be 9:30. Let it warm up a bit. But anyway, I guess I'll keep going on the videos that I was going. So I don't know what the backlash is going to be for them, but hopefully people will enjoy them anyway. Whether they agree, disagree, or agree to disagree, that's fine. So what I want to pick up on is Pepsi Zero. Traumatic. Ugh. Is the pie charts of why people get divorced versus, and you know, not just divorce, but just like relationships in general, why they fail versus why they stay together. So with the MGTOW guys, they always focus in on the one sided, the part that fails, right? And if I was going to give, say, 20-year-old me advice of do's and don'ts, you know, and remember, the way women are now is not like what they were like in the 90s. It was a lot easier in the 90s, you know, to meet people. But we were more of a social. Gen Xers were better socialized anyway. Well, these joggers are fast. I'm in their jogging lane. They'll have to go around me. But the thing is like the new generation doesn't. They've not been socialized, and the parents haven't taught them how to socialize. And usually, your first socializations are in the sandbox, right? You know, with the other kids. And then it's kindergarten, then it's, you know, preschool, elementary, and then high school, and et cetera, et cetera. And then you get out into the real world, and then it's just, you know, hanging out with your buddies, going to bars, all that stuff. And, you know, whatever other groups you go with. But on the other side, there's the, you know, like the church people, which most people don't go to church, so I get that. But there's, you know, there's the church people, there's a socialization there. And it becomes weekly events or whatever. And then there's just like family shindigs, whatever, concerts, you name it. Whatever brings people into big crowds, right? So the more people you deal with, the more socialized opportunities you have. For example, I worked retail for 7.5 years. And I'm not kidding you. Like, I literally dealt with over 1 million people, 1 million to 1.5 million people in 7.5 years. The sales that's not top quality interactions, but you learn to read people after a while when you've dealt with that many people, right? You know, you can see it coming a lot of times. And if you want to put a bit of a pseudoscience on it, is personality types. And a lot of people really like going on I'm a INTJ or whatever, you know, those type of personality types. I think there is core personality types. You know, is everything set in stone? No, but it's like, okay, your core personality might be this, might be that. So you can look at personality types, right? And I remember my friend and I, we used to just sit there on the bench and people watch and try to figure out what kind of person that person would have been, just by the way they, you know, way they walked or whatever, the way they carried themselves, whatever. And I would find that a lot of times we'd be right when we would actually meet these people. You know, like, we'd be like, oh yeah, they're don't know who's honking at me. Somebody's honking at me anyway. But anyway, oh, the jogger. Holy jeez, these people are fast. Sorry. There you go. Let the joggers go by. I think they're both cops, I think. Yeah, but anyway, was it Jogging. They jogged from the town. Oh, geez. That's like 20K round trip. Holy geez. Like, who loves jogging that much? Not this guy. Not this guy. But anyway, yeah, like, I mean, you can meet people anywhere. I could have stopped these. Hey, good morning. Where are you guys off to? Blah, blah, blah. Just to screw up their jog, make them stop, like stop suddenly or whatever. You can do that. You can be that kind of person. I'm not saying I'm that kind of person, but sometimes I do nefarious things like that. So there's like all kinds of places for attempting to socialize and whatever. And the more socialized you are, I'll just plainly say it, it makes life easier. Because you get a better sense of reading people, and what that gives you is the ability to avoid the red flags, so to speak, of a person's trait. Like you got to give people time to kind of show their true colors. You got to give people time. Male or female, it doesn't matter. Like, you got to give people time to kind of give you a good bearing of what they're really like. And usually everybody's perfect on, interaction 1, 2, and 3 kind of thing, right? But over time, you start to get a personality trait. You'll get this with your coworkers, where it's like, okay, you start a new job. Oh, everybody at the job is great. And a month later, everybody's good, but there's this one guy, he's kind of a little bit of a, tool or whatever. And this other guy, well, he's a good guy, but man, he's ever screwed up. You know what I mean? And then 6 months later, you're like, okay, this guy's a fucking idiot. That guy's a fucking idiot. This guy has no clue what he's doing. That girl is like, she's her own worst enemy. Blah, blah. And you just because you know these people by now enough. Maybe not on the extreme personal level, but enough to get a character read of, okay, don't touch that with a 10-foot pole. You know what I mean? And that's something that I think a lot of the MGTOW guys are, and I talk about how they don't self-reflect and stuff like that. And again, we always want to think of ourselves as the victor and the victim. You know what I mean? We always want to put ourselves in the good light and the other person in the bad light. But when you sit there and you really truly critique yourself and you critique the other person of a relationship of why it failed or whatever, you usually find it took two to tango, and that you were probably just as adversarial as the other person. And then you can say, okay, well, we're both to blame. What went wrong? And then you start asking yourselves the questions of, what were they like when you met them? Well, with it, early on there was, and this is a danger for especially young men, men in general, but there's a danger and a pitfall for them to watch out for. Yeah, I'll keep going here. And that danger is, maternal instincts and, just our inherent nature to want to have family, to, want to, be with as many women as possible. But that instinct kind of goes away when you get so-called Twitter-pated, right? Which I'll do a follow-up video for that.